Kehunah, your eviction plan is flawed. Halachically, because I'm not aware of one halakhic authority who supports it. You dream a Jewish state that is a halakhic state. On what halakha do you base your plan? Can you cite one major rabbi who supports your position? Tactically, some have claimed that you are the person most responsible for the rejuvenation of Palestinian Arab nationalism. Since 1967, hundreds of thousands of Palestinian Arabs left Judea Samaria on their own. But by going to their villages and insisting they leave, you have instilled within them a greater resolve to remain. Have you yourself become the greatest enemy of your plan to free Israel of Arabs? Ethically, your plan turns Arabs into chattel who are moved about like animals. How do you view the Palestinian Arabs? The media has quoted you as addressing them as dogs. If this is true, what of the principle that every human being is created in the image of God? Rabbi Kehunah, how do you feel justified in imposing upon Israel the eviction principle if the dangers of doing so are so great, and if the halakhic moral power against it are so great?
10 days ago I was at home in Israel, and the most depressing part about this evening has already begun. I have to debate the issue whether Israel should save itself. What normal people would debate such an issue? In 1945, the Poles and the Czechs, having learned to their horrors and their bitter misery what 12 million ethnic Germans who had lived in their country for 1,000 years had done to them as a fifth colony, bringing on Hitler in 1938 and 39, expelled 12 million ethnic Germans without having any debate in any synagogue or church. They were normal people. There must be something wrong about the Jewish people to debate the issue whether we are going to allow people, Palestinians who in the 1920s and 1930s and 1940s, before there was a Jewish state, raced through the country, massacring hundreds of Jews, shouting, "Itbachadu," slaughter the Jew, whether we should do something about it. I am most responsible for the rejuvenation of the Palestinian nationalism. There is no question it was I who incited the Arabs in 1929 when Hebron to massacre 67 Jews in one day. There was no question that it was I who persuaded them to turn down the 1947 UN partition plan and to go to war. It was I who caused the Six-Day War and the 73 War. There was no question that it is Kehunah who was to blame for all these things. There was no question. What insanity. And most of it went to the the Arabs. The Arabs are Palestinians, and they believe it. And they hate Rabbi Greenberg as much as they hate Kehunah. The difference is that they respect me in their own way for saying what every normal Jew really thinks it's wrong. Arabs have left the West Bank? What nonsense. It's a fraud. A fraud put by Likud and Shia, so as not to speak about moving out the Arabs. The Arabs who left the West Bank all went to work in the Gulf states. They are now coming back in droves, by the tens of thousands. Channel, image of God, of course all people are made in the image of God. So is Hitler. Genghis Khan and Stalin. Therefore we should not have bombed the Germans. Of course not. The question is not whether one is made in the image of God. The question is, what does he do to that image after he's born? Halakha. I'm a man of halakha. I don't want to have to, I don't have the time, another minute and a half of halakha. My God, halakha is clear that the non-Jew does not have the status of a Jew. Democracy is not Judaism. that may be painful to modern orthodoxy. Of course it's painful. It's too bad. That's halakha. But shall I read you a Rambam? I could read you so many more things. The halakha is clear that a non-Jewish to live in Israel must accept receive avut, tribute and servitude. And I want to read to you the definition of servitude by the Rambam, who was, of course, one of the great progressive Jews. He was a doctor. In Hilchot Melachim, the law of kings, chapter 6, halacha 1. The avut sheikablu, and the servitude that they must take upon themselves in order to be allowed to live in Eretz Israel. Sheyun nivzim, they shall be humiliated, ushpeim lemata, and low. V'lo yarim rosh klal Israel, they shall not lift their head in Israel. Elayu ushim tachat yadam. Let me just finish the one. And they shall not be appointed over Jews to anything ever, including a Knesset.